quick, if you leave a comment below, I'm gonna be selecting a winner from the comments once a month to win either this really cool, awesome t-shirt that's totally unique for Inspireful Women, or a cool houseplant just like this, your choice. So leave a comment and let's go ahead and get started. These are band-assisted squats. So squats by themselves, they're not easy. I don't think I needed to tell you that, right? So squats require that, you keep your torso pretty upright while sending your hips back without falling backwards. And that requires a lot of leg and core strength. And a lot of us don't have that, and we need to work on it, right? So one way to work on that while, doing a good squat while still keeping good form while we build our leg strength is to do a band-assisted squat. So we just talked about how, trying to keep the torso upright, while squatting and then not falling backwards is hard, right? So if we have a band mounted to the front of us to counterbalance that, that's gonna allow us to work on building that strength that we need to do that while being able to get a good squat still and work those leg muscles, as well as work on getting a deeper squat, right? Because we've got a little bit of support here, making it a little easier. So all you need is a nice, a stronger band to start and a place to anchor it, your body, and let's get started. So to get into position for the band-assisted squat, you're going to mount your band, in this case, a bit above your head, okay? So mine's about right here. It doesn't have to have an exact location. And again, a stronger band in general is gonna be best for this, as far as, we have all of our body weight that we're working with here, so we want that to be helping us to make it easier. You're going to stand to the center of the band, so like where I have the band mounted is in line with my midline here, the middle of my chest. Okay, so I'm not like way off to the side of it, right? That makes sense. And you're gonna hold one end of the band in each hand. And how much you hold up on the band doesn't matter. You can kind of play with it. The idea is from a nice upright standing position, we're gonna be squatting down to whatever level feels good to you, where what you're trying to work on. And you do want to feel as if the band is definitely helping you lower and helping you stand up. Like it should be contributing. If it's not contributing, then the band isn't strong enough, or you need to pull up on the band more, okay? So it should be helping. So here we are. And the one common mistake I would say to avoid, which I even catch myself doing, is leaning back. So it's kind of easy to start leaning back because, oh yeah, I have a nice strong band here. I'll just kind of go like this, We want to try to still stay nice and upright when we do the exercise, okay? So as far as that goes, that's the main thing with the band. The rest of the squat positioning is really the same as with any squat, so I'll just kind of go over that with you now real quick. Your feet are going to be about hip width apart or so, and your toes pointed forward, or if you get pinching in your hips when you squat, then just go ahead and toe out however much you need to for that pinching to go away, okay? So that's just a little thing there. So that's that positioning. You want to gently pull your belly button into the spine. Even though we're like kind of working a lot of our legs here, our core is definitely active during a squat, again, to help keep that torso upright so that it doesn't fall forward, right? And then also think about pulling the shoulder blades in and down the back and having a nice broad chest. All right, so that's the main squat thing there. We've got our feet about hip width apart, toes pointed forward or a little toed out. We're trying to make sure that we are standing upright, not leaned back, right? And then from there, a squat is all about bending a lot at the hip, knee, and ankle joint, okay? That's really a lot of what this is about. These three main joints are going to bend a lot, and you want to think about sending your hips back at the hip joint. So we're not necessarily going straight down. If we go straight down, the knees come forward. Do you see that way over the toes? And my butt's kind of more here in line. Our goal really is to send the butt back, and then the knees stay a bit more behind the toes. It's okay if the knees do come forward a little bit, but it's kind of like both joints, like knees should come a bit forward, but butt should also come a little bit back. So each one is, this is coming forward, this is coming back. So it shouldn't just be all butt, and that would be like a deadlift. And it shouldn't be all knee, right? Like this. So we want both to kind of go like that, okay? So here we are. We're going to go ahead, trying to keep the torso as upright as we can. Bend at the hip, knee, and ankle to squat down. The hips are going back a bit. And with that band supporting you, you might be able to go a bit lower than usual, possibly even below parallel, where my butt is actually below my knee, okay? From there, we're going to stand back up, and you should feel that band helping you. Hi, I'm Rizal. If you're a woman and you're over 40s like myself, you've been wanting to get into resistance training, but up to this point you've felt kind of intimidated, worried about getting hurt, not sure how to do it correctly, I really try to create in-depth tutorials that break these movements down for you, help you know what to avoid, what to do exactly. I'm a person who needs lots of detail, so that's what I try to provide in my tutorials. If you like my style of teaching and you'd like to keep learning with me, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com. So, now that we've practiced that a few times, had to catch my breath for a second. One other little thing I want to point out as far as like if you are trying to get a deeper squat is we want that extra movement, that more depth, to come from bending more at these joints, right? Bending more at the hips, more at the knees, more at the ankles. What can happen is we can end up kind of like rounding our low back instead to get lower. Does that make sense? So let me see. I'm here, I go down, and if I go farther like this, my butt kind of tucks under me, right? Not that that's ever wrong to do like sometimes, but just as a matter of like regular exercise, we don't want to be stretching here through the low back, thinking like, oh, I got lower, you know, I got lower. The way we got lower was through bending through the spine. And that's not the goal. It's not going to work the leg muscles more. So you want to just think about, you know how a neutral spine has, you know, we have a little S curve to our spine, right? So the thoracic kind of curves out a little, and then at the lumbar it curves in a little, right? So you want to maintain that little curve inward of your low back when you squat. So as you go, it takes a little while to notice it. Using a mirror could help, but I can kind of feel now when my back is gonna start moving. So, and you may too after a while, but you basically you squat down as far as you can tell that your back is still staying still. And then you stop when it feels like, okay, it's gonna start tucking under now. You wanna stop right above that. Does that make sense? That would be your stopping point. And you may be able to get lower as you increase the mobility of your joints here and your leg strength, but just keep that in mind as well as far as keeping the squat healthy and not introducing too much hypermobility in the low back. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Rizal, and if you're a woman in your over 40s like myself and you'd like to do full-length workouts, follow-along ones with me in beautiful outdoor nature settings with chill music, key word there, key 2 words, chill music. If you like my style of teaching and that sounds good to you, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.